right, it's 6. We have a quorum. Tina Walters, chair.
Christy Evans, vice chair.
At large.
Brandy Wilbur at large.
Russell Byerly at large.
Let's stand for the pledge. Do I have any general public comment?
Tina,
Yes.
you do have one person online who would like to make public comment.
Great.
Hello,
Hello. Hi, Pat.
my name is Pat Davison. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. All right. So thank you for letting me share some comments with you. I live in the North Valleys. I attend the North Valleys cab, but I wanted to give some of the other cabs a heads up on my comments regarding cab reorganization. And that process has started, probably have a few more months to go here, but there's some things just wanted to make sure there were no surprises. I have 3 different comments I wanted to bring up. The first is that the cabs may want to add current projects webpage to the cab agenda. You look at the hub now every month or every other month, and the hub doesn't show you the projects that have actually submitted formal applications, but the current projects page does. So in addition to the hub staying on your agenda, one suggestion I have is that maybe the cabs would want to add current projects as just information sharing with your residents who are at your meetings. The second point is that the cabs could benefit from a little more promotion or marketing. There might be opportunities with HOAs or Facebook to promote the cabs. Great opportunity where the county comes to us at the local level, asks us for feedback, a great two-way street, a lot of benefits to all of us as residents, but the cabs are like the best kept secret in town. So hoping that there can be some discussion about more marketing and promotion of the cab meetings. And the third item is regarding the dignity index and asking that that be considered for the cab handbook. The dignity index was presented to the Washoe County Commission in October of 2023. There's an extensive PowerPoint and write-up in the board minutes from that workshop. It has not yet been adopted by the county commission, but there'll probably be some discussion in the next couple of months about it. The dignity index provides a way for all voices to be heard because it is based on a foundation of respect. It is not a mechanism to control or limit opinion. To me, the essence of the dignity index is I may not agree with your position, but I respect and admire the fact you are involved in a specific issue. So that would be it in a nutshell from my perspective. So that's it. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your time tonight and hope to see your cab participating in the reorganization discussion going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more public comment? Approval of the minutes for February 13th. I have a motion to approve the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes for the meeting of February 13, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public safety update. Deputy Cruz is here.
Hi, folks. Deputy Cruz at the Sheriff's Office. Right before the last scheduled date for the cab meeting, which was turned out to be a different meeting, I arrested 2 people between here and Fish Springs for residential burglary. You may have seen the public information officer post about it, which I think indicated that it happened in or near Gerlach, which if you don't live here, is a pretty relative term. In any case, that has put a pretty significant dent in the calls regarding residential burglary out in the Fish Springs and Sand Pass area. So hopefully that continues. And credit to the rancher who called me and provided that information and kept an eye on them. So any questions for me? All right. Thanks.
Thank you very much. No, I don't see any fire. I don't see any fire department, so. Number 6, dark sky lighting ordinance. Proclaim Dark Skies Week. Dave Cooper.
Evening, Dave Cooper, Gerlach resident and troublemaker. I'm trying to, this whole dark sky initiative is bigger than I thought it was. I'm trying to pick up the pieces where Terra Celeste left off in 2021, and there's been a lot of changes since then. So I'm going to talk about, there's a couple of issues tonight, and I'll talk about both of those. So first off, we know that light pollution disrupts wildlife. It impacts human health. It wastes money. Some $3 billion a year is wasted in energy that doesn't need to be expended. Contributes to climate change and blocks our view of the universe. Starting with the Dark Sky International organization was been around since 1988, 37 years. There's now some 70 chapters, dark sky chapters, and over 2,000 volunteer advocates worldwide. There's more than 200 designated dark sky sites around the world. And we know that we have some of the darkest skies in the world right here. And if you haven't seen there was 2 really nice articles, one 4 or 5 years ago, and then a CBS article a couple months ago, talking about Gerlach going after certification, and also Baker, Nevada is another one. We're the gateway community to the Massacre Rim International Dark Sky Sanctuary, was designated in 2019. We're also the gateway community to the Black Rock Desert, some of the darkest skies here, and that supports, they all support astrotourism, which is on the rise, which helps our community as well. So tonight I'm asking the CAB if they would like to ask the CAB to support a request to the Washoe County Commissioners to sign a proclamation to promote International Dark Skies Week, which is April 21st through the 28th. I sent a copy to Tina. It's in draft form, and I think the Candy or somebody, well, they're going to revise it a little bit, but it's just a proclamation saying it's Dark Skies Week. And it's on the county agenda for the 22nd. It'll be in the middle of the week, but that's okay. I think they're all ready to just say, yeah, do it. Shouldn't be a problem. The Department of Outdoor Recreation has also petitioned the governor to also do a declaration for Dark Skies Week. And that said, there's also an effort right now to form a Nevada chapter for Dark Sky International, and anyone can join that. We've had our first encounter, a Zoom meeting, and we decided we're going to have meetings on Thursdays. It might be one Thursday a month. I don't know which one yet. We haven't got that far. And I went, oh, as long as it doesn't conflict with this, we'll see. So anyway, that's number 1. So if you guys would approve that tonight, that would be great. I'm going to move on here. The state of Nevada established the Division of Outdoor Recreation in 2019. In 2021, the state also established a dark sky program to award designations in sites all over Nevada. And it's called the Nevada Starry Skies Program. It was set up to promote, preserve, and protect and enhance Nevada's dark sky resources. And we got a lot of them in this state. The certification program was launched in October of 2024, so it's really new. And it's to work with different entities to implement lighting ordinances and lighting policy, and for eligible sites that includes a lighting management plan and lighting zones. The program is the entities that are eligible are unincorporated communities. Number one, schools, tribal nations, homeowners association, businesses, open spaces, parks, and conservation areas. So with the support of the community, we can apply for certification as a Nevada Starry Skies community. We'll need to get Washoe County to issue a dark skies ordinance for Gerlach. An example of ordinance, what might go into it would be one, to reduce the glare, improve nighttime visibility, which contributes to safer, more secure, attractive outdoor living spaces. Number two, encourage efficiency, controlled lighting that conserves energy. Three, to make the community a better place to live and work and more inviting to our tourists that come here to experience the dark skies. Number four, protect properties from light trespass. I have a lot of light trespass on my property. I don't even have to turn lights on outside to go out. My trees are all lit up. So maybe I'm a bit selfish here. Anyway, number five, to preserve our heritage of clear, dark night skies. And six, to position Gerlach to apply for designation as a certified Nevada Starry Skies community. I was also thinking about putting a committee together, but I'm going to have some help. I would like some volunteers, perhaps. I've got one. And if anybody wants to jump in and follow through this process, what we're going to have to do is, one, develop a dark skies ordinance. Two, develop an inventory of all the lights in town. Three, develop a policy and lighting management plan. Four, implement retrofitting, shielding, whatever is required to bring lights into compliance. Five, follow the 5 principles of responsible outdoor lighting. All that's required for certification. It is a lot. Sounds like a lot, but we'll have some help. The overall goal of the certification program is to reduce overall lighting on a small scale, with hopes that it inspires others to reduce their light pollution. So once we get certification, it should open the door to funding. It doesn't come with funding automatically. And there's probably various sources that we can go after. Some of the lights may need to be changed out, removed, shielded, put on timers, motion sensors, whatever the inventory comes up with. We only have like 9 street lights to begin with, so that will be the first focus will probably be the street lights, and working with NV Energy. So we'll have partners to work with and get assistance from the Friends of Nevada Wilderness, the Nevada Department of Outdoor Recreation, and Dark Skies International Organization. We'll partner with all those. And there's also going to be coordination, of course, with Washoe County and Nevada Energy. So the Friends of Nevada Wilderness already has staff dedicated to dark skies. And they initiated the license plate program. I have brochures on the back table here. If you're interested to get a license plate, I think I will probably sign up for that program. Those monies, a portion of those monies goes towards supporting dark skies, and specifically what we're trying to do. So it will help Friends of Nevada Wilderness help us get this certification. The 5 principles of responsible outdoor lighting are on the back, so you can read that. So this effort requires a community support and approval, and I hope the CAB can officially endorse and support this effort for our community. So those are kind of my 2 asks tonight. One's for the proclamation to officially support this process, or endorse it, or whatever you decide to do. And I have the dark sky, brand new dark skies, Nevada Starry Skies certification program. There's the manual. It's just a few pages. If anybody wants to see it, I can send it to you. Anyway, that's all. Questions? Questions, comments, concerns?
Any questions, Christy?
Dave, thank you so much. Christy Evans. You mentioned an ordinance. Do I understand correctly that it would be the county commissioners that would have to pass and approve an ordinance?
Yes.
And then how, or is that a standard thing, or would we have input into what that looks like for Gerlach?
We'll write it for Gerlach
Fantastic.
to what we want in it. So I anticipate coming back here with much more information in the future. I can't tell you when, or I'm not on the timeline yet, but we'll get there eventually. So it's going to take a while.
Right. And then my other question, if you know the answer to this, but I mean, obviously we can work with the county and Nevada Energy on certainly, public things like street lights, but when it comes to things like lights on private properties, whether that's commercial or residential, if certain folks have a hard time complying with it because it needs purchase of some item to kind of meet whatever we want to have, is that where potential funding could come in to support that, or would each private property owner need to implement that on their own, or do we know yet?
It will be whatever we make the plan to be, and to me, it would be at no cost to individual land, residents. I'm hoping to have funding. If we find somebody that has lights, they have to voluntarily do it too. I mean, we're not going to make them, and probably wouldn't be required essentially in an ordinance or the plan. It just depends on how we write it and what support we get. So I think it's flexible. It's got to be pretty flexible, but it's my intent to provide funding for people that need to dim their lights and businesses as well. So we have street lights, businesses, residents, probably in descending order, what we'll be looking at in doing an inventory. So I'm hoping that people can voluntarily do it now so we can get the word out and just say, hey, turn those lights down on the gas station, would you? It shines right in my eyes at night. Go ahead. Good questions.
Yeah, those were my only questions. Thank you. That's
Okay.
great info.
All right. That is all.
No more questions? Great. Okay.
Say everything takes 6 years in Gerlach.
I like the idea. So yeah, what do you guys think?
It says for action, possible action.
Yeah,
Well, we don't have any language to approve.
right.
So,
I didn't.
Do you have a draft?
I didn't bring the draft.
There is online.
Andy, can you read it?
Absolutely. Let me
Thank
pull
you,
it up.
Candy.
This might take me a moment. Sorry. So this is just the draft, because we are working to shorten this slightly. But it says, whereas the experience of standing under a natural starry night sky.
Andy, Dave
inspires
says he's
human-
got a couple copies.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I read it.
Ready for the audience. Hey, Candy, can you start, please?
Sure. I have to find it again, sorry. Here it is. Whereas the experience of standing under a natural starry night sky inspires feelings of wonder and awe, encouraging a growing interest in science and nature, particularly among young people and visitors to our state. And whereas the proliferation of excessive artificial light has disrupted naturally dark skies to the extent that the vast majority of Americans, including residents of urban Washoe County, live under a light dome and cannot experience the visual wonder of a natural light sky. And whereas excessive artificial light negatively impacts human health, nocturnal wildlife activity, and the ecological balance of our natural environment, and wastes roughly $3 billion per year of energy and natural resources in the United States, contributing unnecessarily to toxic pollution and diminished energy security. And whereas Nevada, particularly sparsely populated far northern Washoe County, is home to some of the darkest, starriest skies in the country, including the Massacre Rim International Dark Sky Sanctuary certified in 2019. And whereas a dark sky sanctuary is public or private land that has an exceptional or distinguished quality of starry nights and a nocturnal environment that is protected for its scientific, natural, or educational value, its cultural heritage, and or public enjoyment. And whereas the town of Gerlach, the recipient of a Travel Nevada grant to promote tourism and the gateway to some of the darkest skies in the country, including the Black Rock Desert, High Rock Canyon, Emigrant Trails National Conservation Area, will seek Nevada state certification as a dark sky community. And whereas astrotourism is a growing segment of the economy as travelers learn, there are still a few truly dark places left where they can experience an amazing star-studded sky they can't experience at home. And whereas Dark Sky International, the globally recognized authority on light pollution and protection of dark skies, recognizes International Dark Sky Week to raise awareness of the effects of light pollution and encourage the protection of dark skies with responsible outdoor lighting. Now, therefore, we, the Citizens Advisory Board of Gerlach, Friends of Black Rock, High Rock, and Friends of Nevada Wilderness, ask the Board of County Commissioners to declare April 21st through 28th as International Dark Sky Week in Washoe County and invite all residents to join us in raising awareness and support for protecting our precious dark skies as a shared resource we all wish to preserve. And that is the end.
Do you like it?
I understand you were saying you were trying to shorten it because, yeah, that is a little wordy and lengthy. And I would like to recommend to the board that we take paragraph 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and make that the complete letter because we really don't need a paragraph 1, 2, or 5 in order to explain what we want the county commissioners to do. I would also recommend in paragraph 9 that we just shorten it to we, the Citizens Advisory Board of Gerlach, and skip the Friends of Black Rock, High Rock because they're not part of the board that we're asking from. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, shortening is. So
May I comment
need-
on that? So we, our staff took the existing document and we shortened it because I guess what this is tonight is the ask of the CAB to make the request to the Board of County Commissioners. And so it would be the Gerlach CAB, Black Rock, High Rock, and the Wilderness, I can't recall off the top of my head, organizations that would be receiving the proclamation.
super.
So
Yep.
yeah, so we've tightened it, and it's still really nice. And we took a lot of the great elements of the existing documents and we just made it a little bit tighter.
So basically tonight, you're just asking us, do we want to be included? We're not approving the letter yet.
Right.
It's got to
You
be there by the
are
22nd.
correct. So what you are doing tonight is considering, does the CAB want to support the request for this proclamation and say, yes, this request is coming from us, the CAB.
Right. Yeah. So do I hear a motion?
I'm interested just before we vote on anything, whether any of the members of our public have input on this and whether they want us to support this or not.
Margie, come up and use the microphone.
Margie Reynolds, part-time resident. I support it. No, I think it's a great idea and something that it would be nice to see the whole state work towards as our world continues to grow around us.
Any more public comment? Okay, I think it's great.
Oh.
Do I hear a motion?
I move that the Gerlach Empire Cab. I'm sorry. Did you have
Candy?
something to say, Candy?
Well, I don't see a hand raised, but Pete Dronkers has said, I'm muted and cannot speak. So,
Oh, okay.
Pete, did you
can't.
wish to make a public comment on this?
No, why can't
No, we
um,
can't see. We can't see who's on there.
Sorry, Candy.
Right, I can see
Yeah.
them. So we've had to change our meetings from meetings, Zoom meetings to Zoom webinars because we continue to be Zoom bombed. And so this provides an additional level of protection. but I see that he has not raised his hand, but he's wishing to speak. So I am going to unmute him because it looks like he's wishing to make public comment, if that's okay, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Candy.
Okay, let me see where he went. Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, Pete.
Yeah, I've been
Welcome.
super confused with this Zoom change because I don't see my video and audio buttons like normally I can mute myself and change my video, but I have no control of that anymore. So I'm not sure that this is a sustainable format because I have to basically enter into the text and hope somebody sees that if I want to say anything. So I just wanted to mention that. But I just wanted to say that Burning Man's super supportive of all of this. We support the immediate ask here, and we also support Dave in what he's doing and would like to get with Dave in the near term and see how we can be supportive of that. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Any more comment? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the support of Starry Skies?
I move that the Gerlach Empire Cab express their support of the Starry Skies Week proclamation and the further development of a Starry Skies ordinance for the Gerlach area.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Great.
Well, we'll start here. Candy, sorry, I'm just have a question. So Candy, with this new system, if we understand correctly, you can see the folks on your end and you will then let us know when they wish to speak.
Correct. And so to Pete's, to address his question and concern, if you raise your hand, and all people online should be able to raise their virtual hand, that flags me more particularly. I had to see that you had commented, I'm muted and cannot speak. And the reason we did move to this platform, as I mentioned, we continue to be Zoom bombed. We've had vulgar and racist comments yelled out at meetings. And so when he mentioned he cannot unmute himself or he can't show his video, that is very purposeful because people are unmuting themselves, showing horrible images. And so unfortunately, we have had to go to this platform. And so if anyone online wishes to speak, if you raise your hand, I can unmute you and then I hover my cursor over the mute and kick this person out, unfortunately. Unfortunately, in this group, we know who Pete is, and so I wouldn't have to hover anxiously, but unfortunately, a few, as he mentioned, bad apples have ruined it for the bunch.
Fun times. All right, Candy, thank you so much. So basically, if what we need to do on our end then is when we ask for public comment, make sure we take that time to ask you if there's online comment.
That would be ideal. Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Just as an additional reminder, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Candy.
Andy, have you guys set up any plans in place or a process where you will let us know who's attending our meetings via Zoom?
Sure, I can do that. If you're curious on who's been online, we can absolutely do that.
That's great because we're always curious on who's watching online. We're all interested.
Yes.
All right, great. Number 7, Black Rock Rental Special Use Permit. This is for discussion only. David Snellgrove is here, and Keith and Dorothy are here. Hi, David.
Hello. It took me a minute. Good. Oh, I can actually do video too. Can you see me?
We can see you.
I appreciate being here tonight, albeit on Zoom. I'll be out there on the 22nd as we go through the presentation. I'll explain the neighborhood meeting that'll be forthcoming. If I could have Keith go up to the podium, because after I go through the presentation, there may be some things for him to add, and I want to make sure that he gets captured on the record and doesn't just say things from the audience. So Keith, you get to go up and be on camera. I'm going to go ahead and share. Let's see. I'm going to send a request to share, and then I'll be able to run my presentation. Multiple presenters and share. Okay. Let me know if you see the presentation slide. It should say BlackRock Rentals and have a green screen page. Can you see that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Can you see it when I share?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay,
Okay.
fantastic. All right. Well, I'm here tonight. I'm Dave Snellgrove with Bowman Consulting Group. I've been working with Keith DeForest relative to a code enforcement issue that he got. There's a few things that he needs to do. One of those being a special use permit for the storage of operable vehicles, which basically allows for somebody else to store their trailer or equipment on a site. It basically allows for the rental of your site for the storage of others vehicles. Project location is down in Empire. It's approximately 1,500 feet north of C Street off of State Route 447. It's a 5.7 or 5.37 acre parcel. It's on the western side of the highway there. The property is master planned for commercial. I'll point out, I have a note right across the street. That parcel got changed from a residential parcel designation to a commercial parcel designation in the master plan fairly recently. That would have come out to a neighborhood meeting. I don't know if they presented also at the Citizens Advisory Board, but that should also be read, that parcel directly across, which is 071-12011. Similarly, on the zoning, we are zoned general commercial on the subject property, and the parcel directly across the street should also be read. That hadn't been updated yet in the county's GIS mapping. The one thing, the general commercial zone does allow for the use of storage of operable vehicles on the site, but it allows it only with the approval of a special use permit by the Board of Adjustment. So I mentioned that this kind of started with a violation of code notice that Keith received. He reached out to me and the specific violations identified. They have one section where he needs to establish a principal use. That's one thing that Keith is working on, to get a kind of an office building out there, and that would allow him to do rental of his own equipment from the site and some of the uses that he has other than renting space to others. That would have to go through a special use permit. So the second one really falls into kind of the rental to others in large part. They're asking him to get rid of all items from the property. Well, he can have his own items on the property. He just can't have others' items on the property without going through the special use permit. So we are going through this. This is what I do this for people for a living. I would never wish it upon anyone. It's a very onerous process. But we're trying to make sure that Keith can get on the right side of the code with this. So in general summary, the use has been on the site for many years. It found out that it's not legally established through the code violation effort or code violation letter. As I mentioned, Keith is working on a building permit to get a manager's office type building on the site. That'll allow him to have a primary use on the site, that he can have his business license established on that property, so he can rent his own trailers, his own equipment, barbecues, water tanks, things like that for people that are coming out to Burning Man. And then the second part is in this to-do list, the submit and have an SUP approved. So that's for the storage of operable vehicles. That's the one that we're primarily talking about tonight. We've had a pre-development meeting with the county staff and talked to them about there's a lack of water resources out in the area. There's no community water system. The electric's a long ways away. So they're definitely willing to work with us relative to some of the standards that the county has that are typically geared more towards urban, suburban level development. They'll want to have some things met, but I think that that we're going to have to be low on water consumptive uses. So the landscaping that would typically be required will probably ask for a waiver from that and try and screen in a different manner. They'll still want to see some level of screening, and we will work with the county staff to do that. This general site plan, what I did is just kind of drew on what a configuration could be, and this allows for fire access through the site. We did have the fire department on the pre-development meeting and talked to them about the fire access links. We may have 2 accesses into the site, or 3 as are shown here. We'll work through this over the next month. The goal is to submit an application by May 8th. We've been working with the county code enforcement. They basically said they'll be fine with us continuing on with this and taking a little bit longer than what they would typically want, as long as we have a special use permit application submitted by May 8th. So you can see the orange area up here, that's where the office and a small parking lot area would be. Keith would have some Connex boxes that would store some of his equipment, tents and things that he doesn't want to get wet and have out in the elements that he would rent to people. He does have an existing septic and leach field area where the green is located. And the 2 blue dots on here are 3,000-gallon water tanks that he already has established on the site. And we did discuss those with the fire department. This is a recent drone photo that Keith had done of the site to kind of show what the current, and he may have gotten some more things off the site. He is diligently trying to get things off the site that he can. Some are others units that he needs to figure out how to get off. Some are abandoned vehicles, which creates a challenging situation in terms of not having a title for the vehicles. So I used to work on code enforcement quite a few years ago, and I know that's very difficult to go through. He's got his own equipment on the site, as well as own trailers and different things. So those could stay without this special use permit, but the other items would need to go without gaining the special use permit. I've highlighted this area to the south. This is oriented where north is to the right-hand side, south is to the left. This southern area is somebody else who's been providing, who's got a lease on the site. What's that?
Excuse me, Dave, they don't see the other slide you're talking about.
Oh, did they not see?
Yeah,
It's not
that's the
another
one he's
slide,
talking about, how
actually.
we've cleaned the lot up.
Yeah, and actually, do you see a yellow box around the
Yes.
southern area? Okay, that's what I'm trying to highlight here, rather than having a whole new slide. That yellow area down to the south, very densely packed in. That's somebody who's been leasing from the property. Keith has been going through some legal issues on that, trying to make sure he can get that cleaned up, because he's not necessarily in control of that. Keith went out and took a couple photos from the front gate entrances, kind of where things are currently. This was probably 2 weeks ago, plus or minus. So he may have cleaned some more things off. I'm going to be out on the 22nd, as I'll get to in just a moment. But I'll take some additional photos when I'm out there. I just popped into the mail, and these won't come in this nice, subtle white color. They'll come in a very bright yellow to your mailboxes. And I ended up getting from Julie Olander at Washoe County a list of about 113 or 114 different addresses, which I think includes most, if not all, of the town of Gerlach. She had to go out approximately 5.5 miles to get to their minimum 30 different addresses to send to, and she ended up sending me a mailing list of about 114 or 115. So those just got in the mail yesterday. We can see how efficient the mail service is with this. So I'd anticipate tomorrow, the next day, they'll probably be showing up in your mailbox. The intention of this will be in the same room that you're in tonight on Tuesday, April 22nd. The neighborhood meeting time, I'm going to basically give the same presentation. I will get to meet all of you personally, which I do look forward to greatly, and be able to answer any questions. And Keith does have some comment cards that people can fill out tonight, but we'll also have those at the neighborhood meeting on the 22nd. So the bottom part just says we have comment cards, and you can comment tonight. You can comment at on the 22nd if you show up to that. as I mentioned before, this is a fairly challenging process to go through. It's fairly lengthy. We're trying to get through this process with the county as quickly as we reasonably can, but it's a long process, unfortunately. Let me see how I can stop sharing now. I'm not sure if, oh, there we go. We got back to the screen. So I'd appreciate any comments that you have. I'd appreciate any comments of support you may be able to provide. As I mentioned, it isn't an easy process to go through, but we're trying to make sure that we can get Keith on the right side of things here with the county. With that, I'll open it up. If Keith has anything to add, I will let him go ahead and expand upon what I may have said thus far.
Basically just that we're cleaning up the lot and we have the other guy supposed to be moving by June 1st and have everything off that section because it is a fire hazard and different things. So we are still moving forward and trying to get everything cleaned up.
Anybody else have questions for Keith? Go ahead, Christy.
Christy Evans. Thank you, David and Keith, for the presentation. That's awesome to know. My sympathies. I know abandonment of stuff is a real thing out here, so it's not easy. I just wanted to comment. In our community meetings, one of the things that often gets asked about is the screening of storage lots. It sounds like, you know, and I know that the county often will require some vegetation, but because of water, you're suggesting that may be different. So just sort of coming from having heard our community voice things in the past, oftentimes that's the question, is to kind of know what you're thinking in terms of potential screening, whether that's, you know, whatever they call the fence slats that provide some privacy or whatever. That may be a question that comes up. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, Keith and I have talked about that, and we talked about that with the county staff, and it sounds like slats would probably be good. There can be some other things that we may be able to put out there. Keith, I know Keith had some ideas on things that can help enhance screen and enhance kind of the front access areas and maybe accentuate those areas, make it look a little different. Keith, if you may want to expand upon any of the thoughts you may have.
Yeah, we're going to try to put screen up, and we've tried to put screen and the slats in the fence. And with the winds around here at 80 miles an hour, basically it blows down your fence. So we're trying to come up with other options. One option that we've thought about that they come up with was using the art cars and stuff and put it out there like more of an art show so that they have something to look at instead of just trailers.
Shotzi, you have a question?
Mentioned it because I know I've worked with the other storage business, and they tried with the slats, and it really did take their fence down almost overnight because there's no protection down there. And we've done other SUPs in the past, in the last 8-9 years I've been here, where we've forgiven environmentals because of the situation and we're out here. And sage grass takes 100 years to grow. It's never going to grow as tall as your fence. It's in an industrial area. The one home that is located down there happens to be Keith's parents, and they've got a lot of screening, so they don't even see the industrial. I actually don't see any reason to even push for trying to make them plant anything or put anything up that's going to cause more damage to the facilities, but that'll get here when we talk about the SUP. I think it's absolutely fabulous that we're moving forward with this and pulling our hood together.
The comments that you just made relative to the wind are very appreciated. You know your area better than I do. And if you have any comments of that, if you can fill them out on a comment card and suggest that the winds are so high that putting slats in would probably tear the fence down, that would be helpful for us in our conversations with the county staff and also with the Board of Adjustment members as we go forward to a hearing.
Yes, I plan on getting that together.
Yeah.
Any more questions for Keith or David? Any members of the public have any questions? Candy, is there anybody on Zoom that has any questions?
There does not appear to be anyone with any questions.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right.
I thank you very much for the time this evening, and I do look forward to coming out on the 22nd. So it's always a nice drive. It's just a long drive. So I will see any of you that want to come out and meet up and see the presentation over that night. Thank you.
We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Neighborhood Development Hub and other engagement opportunities. Candy?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm going to share my screen again so that you can see the Neighborhood Development Hub. I have it pulled up, but I have many windows open. Let me take a look. Here we are. Here we go. You guys see my screen?
As we see it.
Great. So as we do each month, we just like to share with you the Neighborhood Development Hub, which shows upcoming activity in your area. Over on the right-hand side, you can always scroll up to where you are and look what's up there, Black Rock Rentals. So you all just heard about this, which what's nice is that it's both as a visual, so you know that it is in your area, and then it's also over here in an alphabetical area. So you can see Black Rock Rentals, and then it fetches the data and you can see the parcel number, the developer, the project description so that you know what it is, the district, and the upcoming meeting coming up. The meeting info, it will share with you the information as far as, here it is. We also put this on Nextdoor. I'm not sure how many of you have subscribed to the Nextdoor neighborhood in Gerlach, but in addition to this always being available on the hub, as Mr. Snellgrove mentioned, they're sending at least 30 of those cards directly to people's homes or PO boxes. You can also subscribe online. But here's the event details that you can see what it is. It's exactly everything that he explained. If you have questions about the proposed development, you can contact Dave Snellgrove, or if you have questions about the county aspect, Trevor Lloyd is the person who has been assigned to this, and he's one of our senior planners. He oversees planning. So there is that. I do like to share each time because this is really helpful. If you're not within that, normally it's 750 feet or a minimum of 30 properties. So obviously in Gerlach, 750 feet is nothing. So he had to do a minimum of 30 properties. That's why he mentioned like 5 miles. But if you want to know about all upcoming developments, you can go to washoecounty.gov. And it's rather hidden down here, but right here you can sign up for email updates that interest you. And right there you can sign up for District 5 and or neighborhood developer meetings. And so in the case of this particular project, this will be sent to both of those email lists. So that would come directly to your inbox. So there's that. Does anyone have any questions on the Neighborhood Development Hub or signing up to receive notifications?
Any questions? No questions. Oh, Chrissy has a question.
Sorry, microphone problems. I just want to sort of reiterate. So I've already received the email about this project and the announcement of the community meeting. So, you know, because out here the cards don't necessarily have to go to all of us because of the space number requirements, I highly recommend signing up for the email announcements because we get those. And this one's already been out.
Any more questions? All right, thank you, Candy.
And then the next aspect of this item is the board and commission openings. We want to begin sharing this during the hub presentation, just to share with you any upcoming opportunities for involvement. Right now, 2 of the projects, the Washoe County Board of Adjustment opening and the Washoe County Planning Commission, both of those are for applicants from District 4. So that does not pertain to this particular group tonight. However, there is a new opening for Open Space and Regional Parks Commission. So this is something that you might be interested in participating in. It's a partial term, so it would begin after appointment and it would end on November 4th, 2027. And then the person may seek an additional consecutive term. So it would be the 4th Wednesday of every other month at 1:30 p.m. Unfortunately, you don't receive any compensation, but it is an opportunity to have an even greater voice in parks and open space planning in the community. So this is a new opening that just opened, I think it was today. And then if you do choose to apply, this takes you to the application form and you can fill in all the reasons why you would make a great parks commissioner. So that one is available now. Does anyone have any questions?
Well, I like this. Does anybody have any questions for Candy?
Yes, there's no compensation, but do they pay mileage?
You know what? I can find out on that for you, and or if there is an opportunity for online participation. Probably not, but I will find out if there's an opportunity for mileage
Thank
and
you.
get back to you.
Any more questions for Candy? Yeah, great. This is gonna be. I do like this added on to that agenda item. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Number 9, report requests for service from previous CAB meetings. This is going to be a new agenda item. So I'm just going to read this. At a previous meeting, a community conversation was held in March between the community of Gerlach and the community of Gerlach, Washoe County, and Pyramid Lake Fire to discuss the future fire and medical services to the community. Feedback was received from the community to the county on their top desires for the future service. These expectations are being reviewed and their feasibility determined. It is anticipated that a discussion item will be provided on the May CAB meeting agenda for further information sharing. So hopefully we'll have it on our May agenda. Any questions? Shotzi.
And Candy, this may apply to you because I'm looking at this. It says, Chair report, April 25th, previous requests and their resolutions. And I appreciate the input about the fire department, but I haven't heard anything back about my questions regarding the PILT money and its distribution within Washoe County. I did get the little access to the checkbook, but the checkbook doesn't list the PILT money. It does list Gerlach money, but it doesn't list any PILT money coming to Gerlach. So I do have the entire list, which is 6 pages long, by the way, of all the APNs that belong to the United States government, of which the 5.75 million, it's about 85% of them, is going into Washoe County's general fund. So I'm still looking for answers on that, please.
Thank you. I might follow up with you, Shotzi, directly just to make sure that I know, I guess, the specific question so that I can
The
find
question
specific
was, how
answer
come
that
we
you need.
can't find the money to run our fire department when every year the federal government provides Washoe County with $5.35 to $75 million because there's only 4 of us living out here with over 231 million acres or some shit like that. Sorry about the language. And we get the highest amount of money from the federal government for that land, which goes directly to Washoe County General Fund, which is supposed to provide for our schools, our medical, our general improvement, our health, our road, all kinds of good stuff. And I've been asking for 11 years, where's that money going? We needed $250,000 to continue with our fire department, and we're getting ready to run out in June. So I'm hot and heavy on this subject right now.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Any comments from the public on this? All right. Commissioner and board member items. Do we have any items? We don't have is our commissioner here? Candy?
I do not see her online.
Okay. Do we have any board member items? Russell?
Yes, I have become aware of some interest from members of the community in applying for roles at the CAB for alternates. Have you received any applications, Candy?
Yes, Washoe County has received 1 application so far. And it has been forwarded to Commissioner Herman for her review and possible appointment. However, that being said, just 1 application, and I know it is a small community, so if you have friends or neighbors who you think would be a great addition to the cab, please encourage them to apply.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more board member items? Okay, general public comment. Do we have any more comment from the public? Is there anybody on Zoom, Candy?
Yes, it looks like Pete Drunkers just raised his hand, so I will ask him to unmute himself.
Hi, Pete.
Hey, Candy, I just wanted to tell you that we circulated the cab nomination to as many people as we could. We wanted to get the word out far and wide, so I feel like we did our part there. Sorry, you only got one nomination, but I guess that's how it goes. That's all.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Any more general public comment? All right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Say, all in favor?
Aye. Candy, can I hit you up offline for something?
Yes, please. You can call me on my cell phone if you'd like, if you have that number.
I'll do that right now.
Thank you, Candy,
You
and
have a
thanks
turn.
everyone for attending.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.